with a sharp edge, Wednesday at 8. Good afternoon, this is HTV, now the news from ITN.
Good afternoon. There are fresh accusations today that Israel knew it was targeting civilians when it attacked a UN base in Lebanon. A video shot by UN officials shows an Israeli spy plane flying over the base during the shelling, in which about 100 people were killed last month. Israel has strongly denied the claims. Our diplomatic editor James Nates reports from Jerusalem.
The release of these pictures is a severe embarrassment to Israel. Its spokesman had initially denied there were any reconnaissance aircraft flying over the UN camp in southern Lebanon, but confronted with this evidence taken by a UN soldier during the attack, it's been forced to admit there was a pilotless spy plane in the area at the time. They insist reconnaissance photos taken before the shelling did not show the presence of 500 civilians at the UN base, and that anyway, the drone aircraft was flying a different mission.
He was not over the camp, he was over the area. It's a difference. You have to understand that the RPG can see a very limited area, according to his equipment. And his mission was not Kana camp.
That will cut little ice in the Arab world, where the death of 102 civilians is widely believed to have been a deliberate act of murder by the Israeli army. The UN have also now admitted that armed Hezbollah guerrillas were moving freely in and out of the camp at the time of the shelling. But neither that nor Israeli denials will deflect the Arab view that the Israeli army knew they were aiming at civilians. It all adds to the public relations disaster that Israel's bombardment of southern Lebanon has become. They insist they didn't do it for public relations reasons. But at a time when the emphasis is on building peace here, it's only served to harden positions on all sides. James Mates, ITN, Jerusalem.
There are reports today that Russia is about to expel a number of British diplomats. A Russian news agency said a short time ago the expulsions follow the arrest of a man who's admitted spying for British intelligence. There's been no reaction so far from the Foreign Office here. Our Moscow correspondent Julian Mannion reports.
The arrest of a Russian citizen accused of spying for Britain is now in danger of escalating into an old-style espionage crisis between the two countries. According to the Russian Security Service, now known as the FSB, a Russian national was arrested while meeting a person said to be his controller, allegedly a British diplomat working for the MI6 intelligence service. The Russian was said to be in possession of espionage equipment, and it is claimed that he has confessed to spying for the British government. The Russians now say that the British ambassador, Sir Andrew Wood, has been summoned to the Foreign Ministry to be told that several British diplomats, we don't yet know how many, are being expelled because of their alleged links with the case. According to the Russian spokesman, their Foreign Ministry is making a stern protest over the affair, though the Russians have so far released no details of what the claimed spy and his diplomatic associates are alleged to have done. Julian Mannion, ITN, Moscow.
Now, Agriculture Minister Douglas Hogg is in Italy today for more talks with his European counterparts over the beef crisis. Here, Conservative Eurosceptics are demanding tougher government action against Europe for refusing to lift the export ban on British beef. Here's our political correspondent Hugh Pym.
In the convivial surroundings of an Italian winemaking plant, Douglas Hogg was trying again to persuade Europe's farming ministers to lift the ban on British beef. It was an informal ministerial gathering, but Mr. Hogg seemed determined to press his case.
We very much want to see the EU ban lifted, and lifted with all possible speed. Thank you very much. We're talking with colleagues. Thank you very much.
But Mr. Hogg's painstaking diplomatic approach is now being questioned by many Tory MPs, some of whom are demanding a much tougher line with Europe.
I don't blame them if they don't want to buy our beef, but they should not be trying to stop us selling it in the rest of the world. And the British people are fed up with seeing our ministers shuffling backwards and forwards to Brussels. It's pathetic, and the British people want to see somebody standing up to this situation.
And it's not just the Eurosceptics. Leading Conservative backbenchers are growing impatient and calling on the Prime Minister to bludgeon Brussels into dropping the beef ban. Hugh Pym, ITN, Westminster.
A 6-year-old boy has drowned and 4 other people are missing after severe flooding on the east coast of Australia. Torrential rain is continuing to batter the area, cutting roads and forcing thousands to evacuate their homes. Gareth Thurby at ITN reports.
It's already a disaster area and the rain is still falling. Homes and businesses cut off or without power, the damage adding up to many millions. A few can still get through, but most roads are closed. To the west of Brisbane, whole communities isolated. They haven't seen floods like this for 8 years. Lives have been lost, but there have been many rescues. In one creek, a man was washed downstream, but managed to hold onto a log until emergency crews could get to him. But on a golf course, a 6-year-old boy drowned after falling into a stream. And moving with the floodwater, another danger: poisonous snakes. Even some beaches are now unrecognisable, the storms whipping up the sea into thick foam.
Here it's been confirmed that a police chief's daughter, who's thought to have died from taking the drug ecstasy, was seen taking a pill at a nightclub shortly before her death. Claire Pierce from Nottinghamshire collapsed on a sofa shortly after returning to a friend's house. Police in Southampton have made fresh appeals for witnesses to yesterday's suspected arson attack on a house which killed 4 young children. The detective leading the inquiry said they still can't be certain what caused the fire. James Bays reports.
Flowers now rest on the wall of the house where the 4 youngsters died. People on this estate in the Shoaling area of Southampton have been shocked by the blaze, which is being treated as possible arson. The bodies of 11-year-old Alison, her sister Nicola, who was 8, and their brothers Terry, aged 12, and Patrick, who was 6, were found in a back bedroom of their home. At Salisbury District Hospital, parents Beverly and Melvin Good are at the bedside of another daughter, 14-year-old Kelly, who suffered serious burns. This morning, police have widened their search for clues to the cause of the blaze, and officers have been interviewing neighbours of the family.
We're here making house-to-house inquiries in relation to the fire that occurred across the road.
At a news conference a short time ago, police said they still could not confirm that the blaze was started deliberately. However, the inquiry team has been strengthened. 70 officers are now working on the case. Detectives say they now want to trace anyone seen riding a bicycle in the area on the night of the blaze. James Bays, ITN, Southampton.
Finally, tears of joy and tears of sorrow have been shed by football fans in Manchester after yesterday's big matches in the Premiership. United fans celebrated long into the night after taking the title. City fans were left long in the face after relegation. Our reporter Robert Hall is in Manchester now. Robert, it's a tale of two cities, isn't it?
Well, yes, it is, Carol. Great excitement and delight amongst the crowds here in Old Trafford's megastore. Delight, of course, at that 3rd championship win in 4 years, but also delight at that victory over their old rivals at Main Road. The fans began arriving here yesterday afternoon. They were here in their thousands well into the evening. There were car horns sounding, cheers, flags, fireworks being let off. In fact, as I arrived this morning, they were still clearing up. And as you can see behind me, the fans are still arriving to celebrate again today. Down at Main Road, of course, a very different mood, great disappointment, a certain amount of despondency, despite the fact that they pulled back to a draw. Nevertheless, they're hoping for their fight back to begin soon. Here at Old Trafford, the cup is here now. Everyone's here is now hoping for that double next week.
And that's it from the newsroom just now. We're back at 5 past 5. The late news tonight's at 10 o'clock. For now, goodbye.